Gentlemen, welcome back. You're back with MGTOW Money. Today's topic are 3 tricky ways to screw the banksters. Before we get to that, though, let me again, of course, as always, sincerely thank the ongoing support from the Patreon supporters of this channel, as well as those guys who bought me a cup of coffee based upon the last video. Gentlemen, please see today's video description to do so, because we are moving this forward channel despite YouTube's best efforts. Furthermore, let me throw out another idea how you can support this channel as well as any other YouTube channel. Gentlemen, let the commercials play through, for example, as opposed to hitting skip. And if you see something interesting, just click on the banner, click on the commercial, whatever. I'll leave it at that. Gentlemen, let's get on to hear how you're going to screw the banksters and start making money. Specifically, we're going to be talking about leverage, 0% loans, and interest-only loans. Very quickly, I'm defining leverage as an extension of credit from some sort of financial firm, whether it be a broker, a bank, etc., that's going to allow you to magnify your investments. Your investment returns specifically. Number 2, when I talk about defining 0% loans, I'm talking about literally a loan that you've got that has no interest rate associated with it. You're only responsible for paying back the principal. These are unusual, but they are available. Number 3, interest-only loans, where you're only paying the interest rate, whatever that might be, 2, 3, maybe it's 15%, who knows, whatever it might be, but you're not required to pay back the principal. Now, here's where it becomes important, gentlemen. How can you make money with them? Let's briefly run these over, starting with leverage. Look, most people, in particular, if you own a home in the Western world, you are using leverage, or at least have in the past. Specifically, I'm talking about if you have a mortgage on your primary residence, you are using a form of leverage. Using a simple example, if you have a $100,000 home and you put down $20,000 and therefore your mortgage is 80%, you have used a form of leverage. The bank has given you, if you will, has given you notional value of $100,000 that is allowing you to control and for your $20,000. So you are using a form of leverage in that case. Of course, stocks have leverage involved if you have a margin account that we've talked about before. Or you can, of course, trade foreign currencies using Forex. That uses leverage. Or maybe you're trading futures or commodities. When we talk about grains, metals, etc., all those types of things, again, use leverage. And most recently on the scene, we see many companies offering leverage on cryptocurrencies, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., where again, you can use leverage to control those. So let me just use a simple example. Let's say that I put up $1,000 and the broker is extending me 10-to-1 leverage. And in this particular case, I want to go long. In other words, I want to bet it's going to rise Bitcoin. So for example, my $1,000 is actually going to be controlling $10,000 in Bitcoin. So in this case, if Bitcoin should make a 1% move in my favor, in other words, it goes up, I've made, wow, as opposed to just 1%, which would be a dollar-to-dollar move, I made roughly 10%. Wow, that's fantastic. That's magnified my return. Man, I'm feeling great about this. However, here's, of course, the downside, as you can imagine, gentlemen. If it goes the other way, if it goes down, let's just say 1%, again, I'm down very quickly, roughly 10%. You can see, gentlemen, you have to be careful with volatile investment classes where you're using leverage. Let's get on to another example. Example I know that some of you have done very, very well with, as well as many people have done well with across the Western world. And again, this is using leverage, specifically as applies to real estate, and getting beyond just their primary residence. Let's quickly look at that. Again, going back to my example, as opposed to myself putting down $20,000 on one piece of property and giving me a $100,000 home, what if, again, hypothetically, if I bought four homes, $100,000 a piece, and I use that same $20,000, assuming, of course, that I could get credit approval, I could put down $5,000 per home. In other words, 5% down on each. Therefore, the bank would allow me to control $400,000 in assets. 4 homes based upon my $20,000. Wow! Now I'm generating, again, hypothetically, let's say I'm renting each of these $100,000 homes at $1,000 a month. Therefore, I'm grossing $4,000 a month in cash flow every single month on that same 20%, $20,000. Sounds fantastic, right? What's going to go wrong with this? Well, of course, I'm making some assumptions here, gentlemen. One, that I'm renting all these properties. I'm probably staying in one, that I'm renting the other 3 and that they're staying occupied. Number 2, of course, that I'm cash flow positive. Number 3, and this is where it's critical, that the property values are holding, in other words, at least staying stable, if not rising. As we saw, gentlemen, property values can fall. They can be extremely volatile. Ask anyone, especially in the United States, what happened in 2009, 10, 11, 12, where property values in some parts of the country went down 30, 40, 50, 60%. That is where leverage, again, can be very difficult to make money with, and instead you can end up losing a lot when you're using it for something very, very volatile. And 10 words or less, gentlemen, leverage is a great way of making money. It's also a great way of going broke. Let's get on to another idea. 0% loans. 0% loans seemingly are becoming more and more common today, in particular with new automobiles. I guess the car makers are trying to boost sales, so they're trying this trick of, hey, we'll give you 0% for 72 months. Wow, who doesn't want that? I don't have to pay any interest, and I get this brand new car, etc. This is tricky, gentlemen. Remember, I've said this before. There is no free lunch, gentlemen. For example, I can almost guarantee you, they're expecting that you're going to pay the full sticker price of that car, gentlemen. They're not going to be negotiating very much unless you really push them off the sticker price. Furthermore, almost inevitably, it's only going to apply to certain automobile models. And thirdly, along those same lines, the depreciation on that particular model might be very, very high. So in other words, within 12 or 24 months, that car might go down 30, 40, 50%. So just be careful when you start seeing these 0% offers. If you get the right price, the right car, and you've got the discipline, and this is key, to never miss a payment, you can do very, very well with these 0% offers. Another 0% loan idea, though, that I have used personally, and I know many other people have also used, is regarding credit card offers. For example, the credit card company, you might have a credit card from Bank of America, from Chase, etc., where they're saying, okay, look, any purchases you make during the next 12 months, you don't have to pay any interest on that. However, again, caution, gentlemen, caution, danger, Will Robinson. You can't miss a payment, gentlemen. You can't miss it by one single day. It's fantastic. 0% interest is terrific. It's free money, if you will, gentlemen. However, the moment you miss a payment, gentlemen, you're going to be hammered. You're going to have a root canal without anesthesia. I'm telling you, you'll see interest rates at 26% and you'll be paying it off the rest of your life. A real life example that I did using these 0% credit cards, for example, I bought a car, this is a decade ago, literally, and I put a serious chunk of the purchase of that car on a credit card at 0%. However, here's the key, gentlemen. I never missed a payment, and ultimately, and again, this is another key to the whole thing, I knew exactly how I was going to pay off the entire balance at the end, because these, of course, are limited time offers. Generally, you're only going to get that 0% loan, especially from a credit card company, for 12 or 18 months. So, 2 keys to this whole thing, gentlemen, as the bank is giving you free money, if you will. Number 1, never miss a payment. Number 2, of course, make sure you got a plan at the end of the 12 or 18 months, whatever period of time they're giving it to you, how you're going to pay off the balance in full. Now, let me just leave you with an albeit risky idea. I don't necessarily recommend this. However, people do this. They will take these credit card loans. I've known people who have done this, and it works. I can tell you it works. They will get that 0% loan for 12 or 18 months, like I mentioned, and they in turn will turn around and invest it in something that's generating, obviously, greater than a 0% return on your money. You need to be careful doing this, of course, because very few things, gentlemen, are guaranteed in terms of the interest rate that you're going to get back. Number two, you're probably going to have to pay taxes. And number three, you have to be careful relative to any fees that you might have to pay the credit card company. But this is an idea, and people do make serious money doing this. And it is something that I would encourage you to at least consider and or investigate on your own. All right, quickly, summing up here, gentlemen. Leverage. You put up a small amount of money to control a large amount of money. It's most common in residential real estate, mortgages, etc. It really allows you to magnify the returns on your money. Yes, you can do very, very well. However, just be aware, be careful with leverage when you're investing in some sort of volatile asset class. An asset class that goes up and down in value is very, very difficult to deal with. 2, 0% interest loans can be excellent. With cars, sometimes you can get into some 0% interest deals on real estate. That's not uncommon. They can work, of course, under the right circumstances, but as I mentioned, tread carefully, gentlemen. Tread carefully. Speaking of real estate, I recently heard a real estate investor talking about a very successful guy. He was talking about, look, I look at 100 deals before I even start seriously considering one. So he's spending a lot of time, a lot of homework, a lot of effort before he even starts seriously investigating one. And you have to do the same type of thing. 3, on these 0% credit card offers, 0% credit card loans, if you will. These two can be excellent. They can be a fantastic vehicle for purchasing and or potentially, I'm putting that in quotes, potentially investing for those of you who are very disciplined, very organized, that you have a plan going in. Again, if you've got some sort of large purchase or some potential investment that's extremely secure, you can definitely make money with these. All right, gentlemen, as always, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button I hope you found something useful. As always, John Galt out.